let's just settling into our meditation posture without drifting back into the sleep world. So if you are sitting at a desk with your feet flat on the floor, have them in a parallel position, about a hip's width apart. About the same width as the pelvic bones. And if you're sitting in the regular cross-legged position, have your sits bones slightly raised. This just helps you keep your alignment, and also it really does prevent you from rolling back into your sacrum and then slouching your shoulders. So we want to be nicely aligned and lengthening in our spine. You can imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond, just lengthening. Imagine the crown of your head is heading towards the ceiling. Now from the top of the neck, just very gently tilt your head forward, putting a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Eyes down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Now bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax your scalp, forehead, eyes, back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head, at the base of the skull. Just release the tension there and notice what happens when you do that. And relax the ears and the inner ears, the temples, back of the tongue. Maybe you can move your jaw around and just release any tension. And then bring your awareness to the back of the neck. Then the shoulders, allow them to drop down, your shoulder blades to drop down. And we don't have much proprioception in the back, but just imagine all the muscles along the back are just relaxing, releasing. Then bring your awareness to your throat and relax the throat, the chest, the belly. And your limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And now bring the mind to the breath. And just notice those very subtle sensations as the air flows in and out. The air is flowing in and out of your nostrils. So you may feel sensations on the outside of the nostril, according to the shape of your nose, what training you may have had. Depend perhaps where you feel those sensations, whether it's the base of the nose or the tip of the nose or somewhere in the middle. And as you're inhaling, and exhaling, you may notice the sensation as the air flows in and out across all the very fine hairs inside your nostrils. And be aware of any sounds in your environment. So just allow those sounds to be there, trying not to run off to investigate. And then allow the thoughts to bubble up and just notice what's there. Just observe with some level of objectivity. Take a step back, put some space in between your thoughts. What's there this morning? And just know that however it is you're showing up today, it's perfectly fine. It's just what's happening today. So greet yourself with acceptance and understanding and compassion. And try not to criticize the thoughts that are arising in the mind. Be like a scientist, just watching, noting. And be happy to see what's there. And we can be on the bank of our river. And just how is that river this morning? Is it clear and still, flowing slowly? Is it rough? Is there debris in there? And while you're sitting on the bank watching, you're free from the river. And bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, these people that we have profound and deep relationships with. Our friends, our besties. And then there's folks in our life who are a little bit more challenging for us. And then there's our strangers. And perhaps over the last 2 years or so, we've been doing these meditations together. Maybe some of these people have changed place in your life. Did someone move from being a stranger to being a friend? So regardless of our relationships with all of these people, a little bit of indifference to those who are strange to us, strangers to us, a little bit of aversion to those people we don't like particularly, and then absolute undying love for those who are in our friends group. Actually, they're all equal, the same as you and me, in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for developing an enlightened mind, just like you. So we'll be doing this meditation this morning. Just think for the benefit of all these people of my life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So just bring the mind back to the breath. This morning we're just going to do some single-pointed concentration, but first we'll start with the 9-round breathing. So just to remind everyone, because we haven't done it for a while, start by breathing in blissful, radiant white light through your right nostril. And I'll mirror you here so you don't get confused. And then pause at the top of the breath. And then breathe out through the left, all your attachment energy, grasping, neediness, wanting, not feeling enough, not feeling like you have enough. dissatisfaction. You just breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke, and it disappears into space. And then you do that 3 times. Then you breathe in through the left, blissful, radiant white light. Pause at the top of the breath. Then breathe out through the right nostril all your anger and disappointments and bitterness and grudges, jealousy, all these kind of really kind of difficult emotions. Just breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. Do that 3 times. And then breathe in through both nostrils, blissful, radiant white light. Breathe out all your ignorance energy. And this, in terms of Buddhism, is about not understanding the way things truly exist, not understanding cause and effect, not understanding karma. So you just breathe that out, all that ignorance, as thick, black, yucky smoke, and do that 3 times. So we'll do 3 sets of 3 in our own time. When you're finished, just bring the mind back to the breath and feel. And just be aware, notice if there's any change between now and the beginning of the session. So in such a short space of time, it's possible to settle the mind, even just a little bit. So we're going to do maybe 2 or 3 very short, single-pointed concentration meditations. And the reason to do this, Lama Yeshe always said that us Westerners didn't have great capacity for concentration. Maybe most people actually. That we had maybe 4 minutes. So we'll do 4 minutes, and during this time, try and really keep the mind focused on the breath. Notice when your mind starts to wander off, and very gently bring it back to the breath. And the reason I like to use the breath, apart from this is in my Vipassana training, but also it's like an anchor. It's something we're doing all the time. So it's familiar to us. So keeping the mind on the breath at the nostrils, at the opening of the nostrils. It's actually also quite tactile, so you can feel it. Helps you anchor the mind. So keeping the mind on the breath. Just try and stay focused for 4 minutes. Just the breath. Everyone relax the mind. Have a little wriggle. You can open your eyes if you want. Just have a little bit of a stretch. And then settle yourself back into your meditation posture. And very gently bring your mind back to the breath. Bring the mind back to the breath. And you can relax your concentration again for a moment if you wish. Have a little stretch and a wriggle. And then bring the mind back to the breath as you settle back in. And bring the mind back to the breath. Everybody just relax. I'm so sorry to disturb you. Those of you who've got your cameras on looking very peaceful. Okay. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy you've created during this meditation this morning for the benefit of all those people of your life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And there's Black Cat over there, I can see in the frame. Is that Black Cat? Yes. Okay. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you so much for hosting, Paul and Mary. And I'll see some of you this evening in Vajra Supper. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.